152, 154. Scrubbing duty again? Oh, gods.
Oh, Lyrian lummoxes.
Yeah! Yeah! My boots got sand aplenty.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
New orders? No?
One boat.
Your life is mine now.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Yes.
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
Left, right, left, right.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die. Give me a time.
Trade!
matter?
Quiet! What a Kommissar will hear.
Arbalist to your command.
Yes.
Again and again and again.
Estella Teufel!
Brach! Scheiß! In Time!
Aye. One vote I need. Give me a target. Arbalist at your command.
Then one day, gazing towards the horizon, the Queen spotted Lyrian banners whipping about in the wind.
At long last,
She said with a smile. Niamh resolved to speak with the commander, one Baronet Eldar. It was the first time they met, and the youth very much impressed her. Yet instead of questioning Eldar about the foe's troop movements, Reynard took the conversation down a seemingly irrelevant path.
And how's your father, if I may ask? In good health, I hope?
Yes, though he still nurses that bump he suffered while hunting last winter. Yet he's not one to complain. I'll tell him you asked.
Irritated at the trivial nature of the conversation, Niamh gave her horse a dose of her reins and cantered off. Once Eldar and his men were safely behind them, she took Reynard aside.
Reynard, this is no time for gossip and pleasantries. We are at war.
Yes, Your Majesty. And in such times, little should be taken at face value. Even a man's name.
Get to the point, Reynard.
Eldar's father died a month past. His son, I venture, should have known as much.
But that means... Oh, the bastard. Impeccable accent, though.
I fear he's rather representative of what we face. Nilfgaardian spies are ever well prepared.
Tell me, how did you know?
He wears no mourning on his armor. Were it not for that, I dare say I might never have guessed. What are your orders, Your Grace? To observe these Nilfgaardian mummers?
Assemble a force. Tell them to follow our new allies. Observe them closely.
As you wish, Your Grace.
Reynard's scouts did as ordered, watching the false Lyrians while themselves remaining unseen. Soon after, a scout returned with news that the false Lyrians seemed headed for Rastburg, a castle several leagues to the north.
House, barn, granary. Blackclads burnt it all down. Begged 'em, milady. On hands and knees. They just laughed. We offend their emperor some ways, Your Majesty. Begged 'em, milady. On hands and knees. They just laughed.
The false Lyrians approached Rastburg Castle. They sought to convince the defenders to open the gate. As their commanders negotiated with the commander on the ramparts, the remaining infiltrators crouched hidden behind a wall, awaiting the signal to rush forth.
Time for Baronet Elder to join his falsely claimed father,
muttered the Queen.
Follow me!
They found us! Sega not to eat! Very gloire! Aye.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Trouvez les gloires!
Armor won't serve.
El Herzog.
Yes.
If you insist.
Can't take it anymore.
Scheiß in zwei!
Off to the front yet again.
Should have listened to me old lady.
Discipline. That is what you folk lack. What? Who dares?
One bolt. This harvest, we've been reaping black-clad heads.
Any gloire.
Her Majesty is... Exceptional. The castle is secure, Your Grace.
The Nilfgaardians found themselves in a clinch. As boiling oil and tar rained down on them from the walls, they attempted to retreat. Yet Meave's halberdiers cut off their path, and at the fight's end, Meave was victorious. The garrison commander now knelt by the body of the purported Baronet Eldar, in truth a Nilfgaardian spy. He shook his head in disbelief.
He addressed me by name. Knew our watchwords. Why, if you hadn't come along, Your Grace, I fear even to think on it.
Let this be a lesson, then. Trust no one, not a living soul.
Though victory was theirs, the Lyrians left Rasburg in mightily low spirits. They now knew well that Nilfgaard's spies were no less a threat than its heavy cavalry, than its war machines that spit fire.
Milady, if I may, the enemy yet lurks. You must bolster your force. You must incorporate a detachment from my unit. Oh, the times, the world, the day. Can't even tell friend from foe. Treachery round every corner.
What the devil is going on? Where are our reinforcements? Why does Willem not ride out to face the foe, relieve besieged towns?
I can't say, Your Grace. We haven't had a single scroll from the Prince.
Gods be damned. I've the impression I'm alone in fighting the Blackclads.
Beware, my lady. Keep a keen watch. Heard the thunder of hooves from the high road. Cries ferocious in a foreign tongue.
Meave's retinue was riding through a narrow gully when a shrill cry cut the air.
En van in order!
The gully came alive, and soldiers in black armor rushed forth. A cry in turn went up and down Meave's ranks. Ambush!
Defensive formation!
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
Aye.
Ha!
101, 102, 103.
Should have listened to me, old lady.
Very glad!
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
To thee, ni gloire!
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Off to the front yet again.
Arbalist at your command.
Quiet, or the Commissar will hear. Scheiß! In! Zwei! Can't take it anymore.
Off to the front yet again.
A lesson in humility coming now.
Be like a warfire.
Armor rolls.
Egreto dum anime est, spes est.
Tell me you jest.
I want them taken alive! I need answers!
After the skirmish, the Queen's troops brought several Nilfgaardian prisoners before her. Reynard, who had the best command of their mongrel tongue, interrogated. His first question? How many battalions were marching on Dravograd?
Kes, Zagdran, ep Dravograd, ven.
The prisoners whispered feverishly, then one spoke on their behalf. They would answer no questions until the Queen pledged to free them in return. The Lyrian soldiers saw this as arrogance and said as much.
Conditions they're giving us now? Sons of whores! I say, we find a tree with a strong bough, several...
I know not the custom in Nilfgaard, but here in the north, the vanquished do not make demands.
Meve gazed at the prisoners.
Since you do not wish to speak, you shall remain forever silent. Ready a rope!
That day, Meve demonstrated she would show the invaders no mercy. The Lyrians marched off, strengthened in their resolve, prepared to fight to the death.
Blackclads trampled me son, your majesty.
Just saw him walking along the road. He didn't slow, not one bit. Milady, I've nae much, but I'll gladly give me last coin for the cause. For vengeance!
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me. There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die. Give me a time.
Again and again and again.
I'm coming.
Arbalista, your command. Armor won't say.
Carny Vettles, hungry like a wolf I am.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
An army's a waste of time for one like me.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Her Majesty is exceptional.
One boat's all I need.
A lesson in humility coming now.
Tell me the jest.
Ours is not to reason why.
Niamh and company passed by a village evidently pillaged by the Nilfgaardians. From afar they had heard cries, but as they drew near they recognized them not as cries of grief, but as cursing, cries of anger.
Give him a proper walloping, the scoundrel!
Mercy, good folk! I've done nothing wrong!
The villagers stood gathered near the hamlet's center, surrounding an elf, bloodied and cowering. Stones in hand, the peasants threatened and cursed him. The queen demanded an explanation. A ruddy-faced blacksmith stepped forth and spit,
A Nilfgaardian spy the whoreson is, your majesty. He's the one brought him here to raise the village. He's gotta hang.
The other villagers agreed with the smith. The elf fell at the queen's feet and grovelled.
Have mercy, Renner. Save your loyal subject. They lie. They fault me only as I am an elf.
Whence this certainty of his guilt? Have you any proof?
Asked Niamh.
Did anyone see him communing with the foe? Did he hold any coin with a foreign stamp?
The villagers eyed Niamh angrily, their hands clenched into fists. Yet none dared utter a word in protest.
Know this. The Blackclads need no reason to pillage our homes. Now stand aside and let this wretch go.
The elf tearfully thanked the queen, then begged her not to leave him behind. Instead, he pleaded vehemently to join her retinue.
Your most noble grace, please, I beg you. As soon as you're gone, the Dwan will hang me from the nearest tree.
So be it,
said the queen after a moment's consideration.
Find the quartermaster. He's to put you to work. And now we march.
The villagers gazed with hatred as the company left the hamlet. When its thatched roof huts disappeared beyond the next bend, Niamh breathed a sigh of relief.
You've shown yourself to be merciful, milady. Fear the Blackclads won't be so inclined. Not in the least.
Remember this, Nilfgaardians. You'll not defeat the gods. They fear not your torches. They fear not your swords. Blasphemers, pagans, idolaters who prostrate themselves to the sun. Curse you, sons of Nilfgaard. Mongrels, tear your flesh and gnaw your bones.
seen so many armed men in me life, and each one in black plate and winged helm. Heard them Nilfgaardians got hearts of stone, no mercy for a single soul.
A dark shadow suddenly cut across the sky. The Queen instinctively brought her shield up, convinced a Nilfgaardian catapult had lobbed a boulder their way. When the boulder landed in the road ahead, it smashed into splinters and proved an empty barrel.
This is what they cast at us. Barrels. Is this some jest?
Well, they're not known for their sense of humour, the Nilfgaardians,
answered Reynard. Meve stood in her stirrups, squinted, peered into the distance, and let out a hearty chortle. For the barrel had been loosed by neither catapult nor trebuchet, but by a rock troll consumed by fury. At what? A company of Nilfgaardian soldiers had pitched camp by the cave the troll called home.
Troll or non-troll?
Said the Queen, drawing her sword.
None deserve to die at Nilfgaard's hands. Follow me!
Essayr to the Avian! For soup! Your life is mine now!
Protect the troll!
Our ballista, your command. Armor won't stay.
Wise choice.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Order!
Ours is not to reason why.
Ah! It's safe!
Your Grace, the troll, it's a bit unpredictable.
Nilfgaard!
That will do.
Left, right, left, right.
Hail Katza!
Aye.
Ha! This one's got spirit. Catch him! He's worth 20 florins!
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
One boat's all I need.
Humans good do. Soup help.
The Lyrians smashed the Nilfgaardian force. The troll, having grown suddenly pensive, gazed and picked at the invaders' corpses.
Clad in blacks humans. No good humans.
Just so, Sir Troll. The Nilfgaardians are a devious lot. Our land they've attacked most treacherously.
Clad in blacks humans hard. Why no good humans? Big lot armor. Shoe got to. Try morsel of human, you wish?
Do you know to whom you speak? This is Her Majesty, your queen.
Greeting your queen. Soup is me.
There, Reynard. I believe I can manage this. Say, Shoop, you've quite the stockpile of kegs. Do you engage in custom, perhaps?
No. Kegs good for smash when Soup angry gets. But costume engaging. That what mean?
It means... well, to trade one thing for another. At a profit.
One thing for other. For glitter rocks, even.
Yes, if you play your cards right, you might just convince someone to pay you in rocks.
Cards, kegs, trade, glitter rocks. Soup plan got. Soup gotta go. A 4 human go, Soup human give. Your queen aid give, your queen aid get.
The troll turned on his heel and ran out of his cave, his destination known only to himself. As she moved to leave, a hunch told Meve the world would yet hear of this troll named Shoop.
Look at the palisades. The machines of war. Too many to count.
I cannot fathom it. Has Nilfgaard sent all its forces into Lyria?
No, your grace. But a single army.
Gods protect us.
The Queen uttered a juicy curse. Dravagrad stood before them, Nilfgaardians all round it, 3, perhaps 4 battalions of armoured infantry, arbalists and cavalry behind them. Trebuchet volleys had punched holes in the walls, while battering rams had twisted the main gate open. But elsewise, the city was mere moments from falling to the foe.
Doomed! We stand not a chance. Nilfgaard outnumbers us twofold. More!
Then our men must put double the spirit into the fight. Double the heart. Lyria!
Emboldened by their valiant queen and commander, the Lyrians charged headlong at Nilfgaard's lines into a hail of bolts and arrows.
Attack! Rid this city of all black-clad filth!
Your grace, I see the commander. We must train our efforts on him.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Ours is not to reason why.
Brach! Scheiß! In! Zwei!
Should've listened to me, old lady.
Hail Katza!
One boat.
Your grace, there, on the horizon. Reinforcements for the foe.
What do you want of me?
For Rivia!
To the Nigloire!
Give me a time.
Oh!
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
Left, right, left, right.
Off to the front yet again.
Quiet! What else are we here?
A lesson in humility coming now.
Abelis is your command.
Tell me you jest.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Brach! Scheiß! In Trey!
Can't take it anymore.
Off to the front yet again.
Yes. Destillat Zweifel!
Elherzer.
Yes. Destillat Zweifel!
They retreat! Your Majesty, the city's ours!
The Nilfgaardians fled in panic, abandoning war machines, shields and arms, even their wounded. The defenders rejoiced. They laughed boisterously, and cries of delight and chanting could be heard all around. "Warrior Queen," they shouted. "Meve! Meve! Meve!"
Hear that, your grace.
I do. No sound rings more lovely to a ruler's ear. Yet rest on our laurels we cannot. Caldwell, the situation in the town, what can you tell me?
Wall breached. Thrice. 400 wounded, near 1,000 without roofs over their heads. All nothing compared to the grain stores. Went up in smoke during the siege. And it's some time yet afore the harvest, your grace. The war's just begun, I know. All coin should bolster the army, yet if we leave the folk of Dravograd no gold, there will be hunger, with all the attendant discord.
The drought of 1258 I remember all too well. I saw famine, what it drives folk to do, the extremes. A strong army I need desperately, yet not at all costs. The townsfolk need gold to survive till the harvest. Count how much, then give it to the garrison commander.
As you command, your grace?
The battle we've won, there's just the war that remains. And Nilfgaard will strike again, doubt it not. We must move on. Caldwell, ride ahead to Lyria. My son must call a gathering of the Council of Peers. Tell him so. We'll have much to discuss. Reynard and I will follow with the troops. We shall seek out any Nilfgaardian stragglers, prevent them from rejoining the main force.
Meve's two adjutants bowed and left the Queen to think. She was hungry, sore from the fight, spent. Yet sensing her soldiers' eyes upon her, she set off for the stable, her gait brisk, her head held high.
Guardian boot.
thought 'twas certain the snow comes with winter.
Yes, Your Grace?
It's time I attended to other matters.
Golden armor!
Niamh stood surrounded by advisors, discussing, when all at once they heard a mighty thud.
Bloody hell!
They looked to see a cavalryman who'd clearly fallen from his saddle. The men who'd witnessed the blunder began to jest, only to choke on their laughter, as the wretch, having risen to his hands and knees, began to shake and vomit blood. The medic's diagnosis: poison. In spite of his best efforts, the cavalryman breathed his last that very night. Soon, several other riders developed the same symptoms, and at the last shared their comrade's fate. All were buried at the roadside, beneath an old willow.
This looks to be no coincidence,
Reynard said gravely.
Our stores of water. Someone's poisoned them. We must find the fiend. In the interim, Your Majesty must quench her thirst with wine.
Milady, a strange boat floated past. Thought it Imperial, but it flew not black sails, but red uns. Deep red, like blood. Where's Yanko? 'Twere dawn I sent him into the fields, but he's not returned. Where's Yanko? 'Twere dawn I sent him into the fields, but he's not returned.
Astrologers proclaim Week of the Badger.
Horns sounded. Niamh recognized them at once as those of the Lyrian vanguard. She drew her sword and prepared to face the invader. Yet coming down upon her force were not Nilfgaardians, but bearded warriors clad in leather, horned helmets on their heads. This was not so. The Queen could not believe her eyes.
Skelligan raiders? This far inland?
But this was no time to be bewildered. Niamh spurred her horse. It neighed and reared, and then the twain leapt into the fray.
Reynard, what the devil? Sea raiders here!
Ariel's been chosen. The gods speak to him.
with us!
Can't take it anymore.
Attack!
We'll ransack your temples! Wipe ourselves on your vestments! For blood!
One boat.
What is it?
Ours is not to reason why.
More hawk de Barrier!
You got a bad case of Rover's back.
You've got stones, wench!
You've sailed into troubled waters, mate.
For Rivia!
Give us all you got!
Give me a time.
Olga Blackhand's taking on new swabbies. What do you say?
Her Majesty is exceptional.
The Skelligers fought hard, fought bravely, brought mayhem. Yet the Queen's ordered, disciplined force won the day. The islanders seemed entirely undismayed at their defeat. A trait of theirs, I must admit, I've ever admired.
Well, you're right scrappy for landlubbers. Lippy Goodman applauds you for your pluck, Queen. When we sup, me and the lads will drink your health.
That we shall yet see, sir. We must know something first. What brings you this far inland? What drove you from the sea?
Meve asked, crossing her arms.
Ha! What always drives us? Looting and pillaging. The coast's picked clean since long, so we set our longships up the Yaruga for gold and glory!
Amusing. I always assumed you to be honourable folk.
And who dares to claim elsewise?
Your very actions do so. You've attacked a land preoccupied, a land already at war with invaders, but I suppose it makes sense. You've ever feared to attack Imperials?
The Queen prodded gently.
What did you say, wench?
Gudmund had quickly turned red with rage.
I'll prove just how wrong you are, I will! Why, we'll be drinking mead from Nilfgaardian helmets for sundown! Follow me, lads!
Meve smiled as she watched the islanders gather their gear and prepare to march. She doubted not in the least that Gudmund would honor his pledge.
Here the damage seems not so great.
It appears Nilfgaard's not yet turned its forces towards the capital. We're likely to encounter no more than pathfinders and foragers.
So I hope.
One goes.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Give me a time.
One man's battlefield is another man's ripe patch for harvest.
Discipline shall bring us victory!
The Nilfgaardian invasion necessitated certain steps. Meave had dispatched scrolls to her garrison commanders, based upon which they were to announce general musters. She'd hoped that by the time she reached Crydam, fresh recruits would be waiting to join her growing force. Alas, the commander of this fort, one Sergeant Griggs, had only bad news.
Your Majesty, I've not the numbers to man the walls even. The call to arms brings few new recruits and more men desert each day. Folk are terrified something awful. They don't believe in victory.
Since love of country seems insufficient motivation,
Meave said, standing up from behind the table.
We must make coins speak. Sergeant, announce that all new recruits will receive twice the usual soldier's pay.
Though costly, Meave's decision brought immediate results. Lured by the promise of gold, townsfolk in droves enlisted with the garrison. The Queen left Crydam poorer, but encouraged, as she had a stronger force in tow.
Nothing stirs a soldier's soul quite like coin. The clinkety-clink of gold.
A contract on a monster. Interesting.
As Meave and company traversed the ruddy meadows, strident voices reached their ears.
I beg your pardon. I've heard enough. A duel. I challenge you to a duel.
A duel? Nonsense. I'd sooner lay you across my lap and give your arse a thorough flailing, you scoundrel.
The Queen approached the arguing parties. Two nobles, Lords Cartwright and Mansfield. Quickly she ascertained they were up in arms over ownership of an orchard lying between their estates. Assisting both nobles, their kinsmen, armed to the teeth, prepared to leap at each other and crush heads. Upon spotting Meave, the lords lowered their voices, bowed and presented themselves. Yet they could not keep their ire fettered long and were soon casting aspersions again.
Your Grace, Mansfield has seized it. No, stolen my land. Land that has been in my family for generations.
It is my recompense for your reckless deeds. To burn down me mill in Furchin for a bit of sawdust in your flour? Well, I never.
A bit? Oh, let me at him. Farmhands taken ill, cooks feverish, all from that manure. You are a fraud, sir. A fraud and a thief.
Though she faced the not at all trifling matter of the Nilfgaardian invasion, Meave agreed to settle the dispute. Reynard, who knew the history of every Lyrian and Rivian family 7 generations back, served as her advisor.
No doubt I would find for the Cartwrights. They are in the right here as regards the title to the land. Yet your grace must consider, the Mansfields have ever served the crown and never delayed payment of tribute. Whereas the Cartwrights are litigious charlatans who owe the royal treasury thousands, many thousands.
This situation is clear as the day,
said the Queen.
The orchard's rightfully Cartwright's and must remain so.
Your Grace!
Mansfield started angrily.
For years I've loyally served the crown.
I ask that you continue to do so and respect my judgment then.
Lord Mansfield turned green, then red, then blue, as he passed from envy through irritation to deep ire. Yet in the end he accepted his ruler's judgment. Lord Cartwright, his joy hardly contained, knew how to show gratitude, ordering the best of his men-at-arms to join Meave's force.
What is it, Mansfield? Hey? Whence the frown? Do you not agree with your queen?
Lady, something's wrong at Abbott's Ravine. I heard whinnies and screams at first. Now all's gone silent.
On their way to the capital, Meave and company happened one fine day upon a lone rider. Had I been at her side, I would immediately have recognized his passionate gaze and altogether chivalrous mien.
Identify yourself, sir, and your intent.
Ake of Denell I am dubbed, and my design I never conceal. The good book says the world is a garden which the gods once conferred upon man, and we men have this garden neglected. In consequence, all manner of filth has made its lair here. Drowners, ghouls, and other kobolds. I have sworn ne'er to rest until the day when, with the gods' help, I have rid the world of these beasts and pests. I wander all lands, seeking out evil and facing it in mortal combat.
Who do we spy? A knight-errant?
Just as likely a madman. How goes your hunt? Caught the trail of any monster?
Monster? Too fair a term by far. An exceptionally vile worm has made its lair in nearby caverns. It is said to be the very distillation of filth. A slithering horror. A mélange of the macabre. Its head, that of a wild cat of Ophir. Its maw full of spiked teeth. The wings of a bat it is said to have. The tail of a scorpion, and from it, a thick venom drips. Learned men call this variety a manticore, or mardiacore.
Perhaps it will be most prudent, then, to send for a witcher.
A witcher? Soulless automatons they are, all, feeding on common folks' fears. What they demand gold to do, I perform without demand of any coin.
Sir Ake, far be it from me to discourage you. Your endeavour is noble, no doubt, but from what I have heard, manticores are exceedingly dangerous beasts.
To defeat this filth alone could be a difficult task, I'll not deny. Yet try it I must, for it is what I have sworn before the gods.
We shall help you find and fight the manticore, provided you then pledge to help us fight an even fiercer and filthier beast.
Of course, my lady. Yet what manner of horror is it? A viper? A griffin? A drake of some rare form?
Were it only. 'Tis a beast of 1,000 heads, covered in black armor, its fire consuming whole villages.
Noble lady, I know Bestia is only in parts, yet I've seen some of the world, and never have I heard of such a terror.
You need but look about you, and spot Nilfgaard's legions.
Devastating. But you must forgive me, Your Grace. This struggle between realms is not one to which I can lay a hand.
A manticore. How great is its appetite? How many men does it fell? In a moon, let us say.
It changes. At a time when the horror broods, it may be as many as 20.
I see. As now you must. Nilfgaard in my capital could mean as many as 20,000 felled. You live to fight evil, injustice, do you not? You can fight none greater than by doing so at my side.
The Manticore, Your Grace, must fall first. As to what happens later, I shall need to consult the good book and petition the gods.
Agreed, so be it. This monster, where lies its lair? Where does it prowl?
To the north, my queen. A few leagues on.
Not a scrap. Not a scrap. Nothing to bury. Blood's all that's left behind.
I see you found the mess tent. How's the ale? Not too warm, I hope.
'Tis not for me to say, Your Majesty. My tankard holds but milk of the goat.
Milk? A witless prank. I shall tell the quartermaster at once what I think of such...
Unnecessary, Your Grace. I called for the beverage.
Is that so? Well then.
The good book states clearly, the shadow of spirits obscureth light most true, and leadeth thee from the path of virtue.
Right. I suppose there's something to it.
My soul sings to hear your affirmation, Your Grace. If ever you wish to discuss the good book and the wisdoms contained therein, hesitate not to find me.
Certainly, I shall remember that. Your crusade against monsters. Have you been at it long?
Come next Bellatane, it will be 20 years, Your Grace. Though there was one extended interruption.
For what reason? Had you grown weary of the knight-errant's life?
Not in the least. Never shall I cease in my quest to cleanse the world of filth and abominations. But at times evil puts up rather a good fight. I ventured forth to slay a dragon once. A gold one, as it were. Calling itself Villa Tretormeft, or the like. Its very name, as is evident, a vile toil for the tongue and wafting wickedness. A great many mercenaries embarked on the hunt, lured by the promise of coin in heaps. The Crinford Reavers, Yarpen Zigrin, and a band of dwarves. Even, curse the word, a witcher. One Yennefer, a most lecherous sorceress at his side.
That name I've heard.
But at the deciding moment, when the beast challenged all, I alone emerged to face it. Alas, shame burns me to admit it. I returned from the battle upon my shield. Figuratively. Literally. I returned in pieces. For 2 years, I lay in the Temple of Melitele in Alanda. Mother Neneke, God's protector, nursing me back to full health. And only when I could once more grip my sword did I return to the path I'd chosen.
And the dragon? What was its fate?
Some claim it flew off to Zerrikania, though it very well might yet lurk here. awaiting the opportune moment to terrorize the folk of the north again.
Farewell, Ake.
'Tis in these ravines. The beast is near. I sense it.
At the furthest depth of the winding, gloomy canyon, scouts found the maw of a great cavern. Among the boulders outside it, whitening bones lay strewn. Ake dismounted and drew his blade.
By the god's grace, we've found the beast's lair,
he said, lifting his gaze to the heavens.
We need them but to extend their favor as we battle the filth.
Meve cast a critical eye at her shield, wood clad in leather and thin plate. Enough to stop a sword, certainly, but would it protect her from a beast's raging blow? Noticing her hesitation, Reynard approached the Queen and said,
Your Grace, none will utter a disparaging word should you step back.
But they will think them,
replied Meve.
and that's bad enough. The war has begun. I can't appear weak to my fighting men.
Without awaiting an answer, Meve strode into the cave. The rest of the company followed, equally full of fear and faith in their queen and commander. Moments later, a great and powerful roar filled the cavern.
And I beheld the beast! Profane horns didst adorn his wicked brow!
God's protectors.
The knight to wear its claws! The hardest plate they shred like fine vellum!
Aye.
Beware! Its tail flows with deadly venom!
Page late. Again.
I'm a wrong sick.
Left, right, left, right.
Ah!
Should have listened to me, old lady.
Got any victuals? I'm hungry like a wolf, I am.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
With Ache at their side, the Lyrians fell in the battle. Later, it was said, the beast's dying wail, multiplied and strengthened as it passed through the caverns, could be heard as far as Spala.
Your Grace, many monarchs have I met in my time, yet none proved as virile in battle as did your Majesty.
Virile? I dislike the term. Seems not to suit a woman. I prefer valiant. Yet grateful I am for the compliment. Now pray reveal, have you made your decision? Will you swear to serve me? Are you prepared to take an oath?
I am not, Your Grace. I can serve only the gods. Yet, I do believe them to be on your side as one unjustly and treacherously attacked. Thus I see nothing wrong in assisting you.
Then I am content and welcome you in my ranks, Sir Ache of Dunel.
The knight-errant bowed low from the waist. So low, in fact, the gambeson neath his mail creaked. Meave could only hope he would battle Nilfgaardians as boldly as he faced beasts.
One of them golden sons belongs on the side of my own ship. Nilfgaardians make for good prisoners, good slaves too. They got black shells, but the meat inside's red.
What's a folk moving about of late? Fair live ye is our own,
land, charming, fertile and grand. Is your majesty also bound for the river? To camp there, perchance? What's a folk moving about of late?
One evening, soldiers brought before Meve the elf she had saved from a lynching. It seemed he had been the fiend who had poisoned the water barrels from which several soldiers had drunk, then suffered and died.
Yes, I did it. And I regret it not one bit.
Seethed the elf.
Nilfgaardian, Temerian, some brute from Lyria, you Dwan are all alike. I detest you. All of you, your filth for what you wrought with my brethren. I'm proud. I am that even a few of your kind perished at my hand. Hail and Shay.
Meve pursed her lips into a thin white line. Reynard knew the expression. It did not bode well.
I should drag you to the capital. Hang you high in the market square.
Meve said through gritted teeth.
Yet this you would want. Am I right? For your folk to speak of you? For your folk to remember? Well, you shan't have it. You'll hang here, in the middle of nowhere, with but crows to witness it and then pick at your eyes.
It was a summary execution. No sentence was read, no last wish observed. The elf's corpse then hung long at the roadside, as none came forth to claim and bury it.
We welcome you home, your majesty. Prince Willem awaits your return, your grace. Good you've returned, ma'am. Lyria needs you.
Home at last, your grace.
Mm-hmm. We shall not enjoy it long, I fear. Soon we must face the black-clads in the field.
Yet a moment's peace we will have. After that drubbing you gave them at Dravograd, they'll wish to rethink their strategy.